This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D Show.
Episode 109 of the IT and the D Show is brought to you by Hired.com. If you're asking what that is, if you are a techie, geek, nerd, coder, whatever, Hired.com is almost like a backwards job board. Instead of putting your resume out and having 47 recruiters call, you actually get offers and interview requests right on the spot, and you can deny them or you can accept them. It's as simple as that. They work with over 2,500 different companies, from startups to large public universities. It's totally free for users, and get this: if you get a job through them, you don't just get a job, you get $2,000. And if you use our special link, hired.com/IT in the D, they will double it. You get a job and you get $4,000 as a thank you. And listen, if you're not looking for a job, but you know someone who is, refer them, and you can get a $1,300 and $37 bonus, which is a little random, but I'll take it. $1,300 bonus when you accept a job too.
Dude, that's like nerd code for elite.
It's elite bonus.
It's 1337. Elite.
Oh, see, that's why I'm the sales guy. I am the sales guy. So check out hired.com/IT in the D and get a job and $4,000 today.
You won't find that salesy stuff here. You'll find networking mixed with beer. You can't stop in just to say hi. We'll kick you out if you're that guy. We are IT in the D. Ooh, this is IT in the D.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
This is Max Headroom, and what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
This is the IT and the D Show. This show is broadcasting live from Detroit Sound Studios above Activate Gaming and is part of the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Hey, this is John Schneider from Nip Tuck Smallville, the haves and the have-nots. Oh, Dr. Quinn, Hot in Cleveland, Secret Lives of the American Teenager, and just about everything you can possibly imagine. And oh yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. You're listening to Bob and Dave. It's the IT in the D Show.
Just where do you guys think you are? The Library of Congress? Detroit? Beyond the sun?
Any of those right?
Take him to Detroit.
No, not Detroit. No, please. Anything but that. No.
I used to hang out at the Magumbo Bar. It was a rough place, the seediest dive on the wharf, populated with every reject and cutthroat from Bombay to Calcutta. It's worse than Detroit.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come. Shut up.
Dig you IT geeks. This is Dre DeMatteo from Sons of Anarchy. You are listening to IT in the D.
Bear me. So what happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bumhole?
Exactly. Come on. Tries. What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the show.
Hi, this is Ralph Macchio, and you're listening to IT in the D Show. Wax on, you know what.
Why would, Buick put their cars next to, the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT in the D Show. No mercy.
I may have to wipe the geek off.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, John Kreese from the Karate Kid movie, and you're listening to IT in the D.
Yes, Sensei! You're not very informative, but wow, are you entertaining.
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to IT in the D. All you nerds out there.
Nerds.
What is a nerd?
I'm a geek, not a nerd.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Pump. IT in the D Show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
You're in your underwear? I'm in my underwear. Here, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey. I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
I was banging on the wang.
Skeptical
Dave is skeptical.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
It's just too big. It's way too big.
We just lost our clean tag on iTunes.
This is Robert Hayes, Ted Stryker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo Bar, I'm listening to the IT and the D Show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat steak.
Turn your microphone off. Just get out.
Hey folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT and the D Show. Tough guy, ho!
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do, the question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Sir, had you better buckle up? Fuck all this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
Welcome back. Thank you for listening. It's Monday, September the 14th. This is episode 109, and you are here in the IT in the D Show. We're broadcasting to you live in the Detroit Sound Studios above Activate Gaming in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. Good to be back home. This is Bob the Sales Guy here with Dave the Geek. Nuri, the FNG, is here. He is not on AST. He is actually live in the building.
And sweating 100% less than I was last week.
We'll talk about that in a minute, but catch us online, itandthed.com. Give us a like on Facebook, /itandthed. Follow us on the Twitters, /itandthed. And if you have, we just announced that you can get our app on Apple and Android. So if you have the Googles or the Apples.
And let's be clear. So we are trying to, as we're expanding and as we're growing, and not just our waistlines, like as the studio is growing.
And Leon's getting larger.
Leon's getting larger. We are converting our IT and the D stream over to a Podcast Detroit stream. And the Podcast Detroit app will be where you can find both streams running. So as we get, shows that are running simultaneously. So what you want to do is you want to go to the Google Play Store. You want to go to the Apple Store. You want to search for Podcast Detroit. That app is slick. It is clean. It is easy to use. Life is good.
It is good. And speaking of good, we have our second, or our, what do we call them, biannual Pink Slip Party is coming up on September 17th. If you
Which
are
is Thursday.
Oh, God.
If you are in or around IT, or if you just want to hang out and have a beer with us, you need to be at the Majestic at 5 o'clock.
These have absolutely taken on a life of their own. Remember the good old days, Bob? Remember when it was us and it was you and me and three other guys sitting around the Post Bar, Ferndale,
$2 beers,
just bitching about our jobs and life was good.
Now we have to work,
and as our wives have pointed out to us many times, we have completely screwed up our excuse to go drinking once a month.
Yeah, this whole thing started
now it became a job.
This whole thing started because Dave's ex-wife wouldn't let him drink with me. And,
no, she wouldn't.
I'm going to drink with Bob. No, we're going to.
I'm going to a networking event.
Okay, it's for my job. I want to drink everything, but it's for my job. But hey, real quick, this episode is brought to you by FanDuel. I know, if you have not heard an advertising from FanDuel, you're not on this planet because they are everywhere. But they are the leader in weekly fantasy football leagues. My regular fantasy football league I've been in for 14 years. I had my fourth pick. I took Le'Veon Bell, and he's suspended, so my team sucks. But it doesn't matter on FanDuel.
I'm winning our FanDuel league, just so we're clear.
No, you're an idiot.
No, I am.
I tried to get in, and it's like full already.
It's
what happened?
full.
I'm starting another one.
Oh, thank God.
Because who knew? Who knew that our demographic? Because again, and I've said this every read, I will continue to say it. Fantasy football is Dungeons and Dragons for guys who used to beat up guys who played Dungeons and Dragons.
My +3 strength quarterback.
Exactly. But I launched a league that had I figured I'll set it up with 20 people. Life's good. No, it filled up in 8 seconds. I have no idea how that happened.
The crazy thing is they're paying out $75 million a week.
A week.
I joined
billions of dollars.
Well, here's the cool thing too. It's not just for the weekly fantasy football. They have side games. So they had Sunday night football, Monday night football. They had pick between these 4 teams, pick 9 players. So I joined a $5, a $2 league, but it starts just at $1.
And why could you do that, Bob?
Because I want to win some monies.
No. Why could you do that? Because they have this great offer for us.
Oh, if you use... There's that magic.
Way to follow the segue, Bob.
I was going to. I wanted to.
Is this a T-ball fantasy T-ball league?
You know what?
Yeah, exactly. I could not have set that up any cleaner for you.
I don't understand you anymore. Hey, if you go to FanDuel.com and click the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, use the code ITD, 3 letters ITD, and they will match you dollar for dollar up to $200.
So it is for new users, and it is limited. It is only for the first 50 people that go there now, because apparently we had a little bit of an influx that happened after we announced it last week, and so it's only good for the first 50 people that go.
So go do match dollar for dollar up to $200. Use coupon code ITD, and where every day is a new season. FanDuel.com. Sign up. I just did, and it's fun.
It's pretty cool. It's clean, it's simple, it's easy.
But then now that here's the thing,
I'm not gonna lie. The Yahoo Sports stuff can kiss my ass. Like I know we're talking.
It's stupid,
dude. It's you know me. I'm OCD. I don't have time for 16-week commitments to anything. I don't. I'm surprised I've A, had a job, and B, a marriage that's lasted longer than 16
Well, then you
weeks.
get angry because you didn't start the right guy. Like I had Percy Harvin on the bench. He had like 22 points, and of course I lose because Le'Veon Bell's suspended, and I'm an idiot because I didn't pick up his backup. Anyway, so going back, I feel like we need to talk about the Pink Slip Party because to me that's kind of like our Super Bowl, kind of our WrestleMania.
It really is.
Basically, how this thing all came about, and if you don't know the past history of us, we realized real early on, job fairs suck. They're awful. They're not fun to go to. You go to long.
No one likes them. Everybody hates them. They might as well go eat some worms.
Right. You stand in this 45-minute line, and there's a guy from Chrysler's handing you a postcard to fill your resume.
Here, go
online.
apply online.
So what we did is,
Awesome.
So what we did is we said, hey, if you're hiring someone, we'll give you a giant lanyard. If you're looking for a job, you'll wear a little sticker that says, hi, my name is Slim Shady. And then basically you find each other in the bar with a beer in your hand and say hi.
Well, or you come to us. And that's like our job at all of our events, whether they're the smaller ones or the bigger ones like this, is we play traffic cop. And so, again, recruiters, if you're coming out, just let us know. There's no cost for you to attend. We just want to make sure we have badges pre-printed for you so that they look good.
Badges?
No, they do need stinking badges at these events.
Crap.
And so, just drop us a note. It's contact@itandthed.com. Let us know you're coming. Let us know your company. Let us know who the recruiters that are showing up. We've like I said, again, these have kind of taken on a life of their own. We're at... The last few have seen 120 to 150 recruiters and about 1,000 people, and we've got a couple of surprises up our sleeves. And Falling Down will be in the house again, by the way.
And they're free. And I'll say that again, they're free.
That's right. You don't pay to come to our job fairs. You don't pay. Well, you have to buy your own beer.
So how are we making money on this?
We don't.
We're not.
We don't.
That's the point.
We're idiots.
No, again,
Dice.com job fairs charge $6,000 a table. We're just covering our costs.
Well, no, and again, we've had this conversation before. So we're up over like 1,600 people that have found jobs
that we know of.
And so we try really hard not to do the math because the math is, your average, referral fee is like $1,500 to $2,500 for a good, like, solid IT candidate.
Stop doing math. I don't like you anymore.
So 1,600 times even 1,500, and that's how much money we've said. No, we don't need that. No, please.
I don't want to pay my house off.
Stupid. I don't need a condo on the side where I can have my gaming room. And
$2.4 million.
Yeah, that's the number. Yeah, no, that's why we don't do that math, Amanda.
Thanks, Amanda.
So speaking of which, we have a packed studio full of guests. The second segment, we got an awesome guest we asked last minute, and he decided to hop on with us. Jeff Moss is here from the Detroit Sports Rag.
Oh, that's right. Nobody else is here in the room yet.
No one. And then we have
thanks, Amanda.
We have Amanda here from Michipreneur, who will be joining us. Repeat offender. And then last but not least, we got Jen Straughter here, a cool small business called Savvy Kids, and talking about an event coming up. So yeah, I am looking forward to Thursday. Actually, I'm not because we always go in an utter. How many R's now at the end of this, Amanda? Like, are we done? Did you?
How have you not registered?
5 R's. Let's go 5 R's.
Can you spell Nuri and Michipreneur? I think you should be able to. Nuriur.
That's right. You can't spell Michipreneur without Nuri.
Aw, thanks.
So last week was actually we had a ball. We if you didn't listen to the show, we broadcasted live from the Blackfin during the Farts, Beats, and Eats festival.
It was a great time. I'm not going to lie. Like,
no, it was fun.
I love remote broadcasts. They're a ton of fun. We're doing the one November. I think it's the first weekend of November. We're doing Fantasticon out in Mount Clemens. Mount Clemens should be a ton of fun. We've got a nice big corner booth. A lot of our shows I'm surprised, have expressed an interest in coming out and hanging and doing a live broadcast. I'm trying to reach out and make this happen. We may be going from Theater Bazaar. We may be broadcasting from the Dirty Show. We may. There's some fun stuff that I'm trying to. I like our remote broadcasts. They're a ton of fun.
You know what I don't like? City of Royal Oak during Farts, Beats, and Eats, which is our signature event.
With their 1,595 parking tickets that they wrote by chance?
1,500. You guys can choke on that revenue you made. You invite...
Billy and I walked outside at one point, and we were laughing because we're standing there watching like a cop go up each side of the street, just like shh, ching, shh, ching, just ticket under windshield, ticket under windshield wiper, ticket under windshield wiper. It was hilarious. At $50 a pop.
Oh, because Royal Oak tickets are usually really cheap. Like parking in the wrong areas,
$50
like $10
a pop.
Oh,
no, they jacked them up.
It was a nice $80,000 day for the city of Royal Oak.
I used to treat them as fancy valet. Well, I'm not putting money in the meter. I'm going to get a ticket anyway. Just it's $8. It's not $8 no more.
$50. So you guys didn't get tickets, right? No tickets anywhere.
Did I
in the
get
room?
we valeted. We valeted, and the guy.
Tell the story. Left keys.
Oh yeah.
You MRFer. So I pull in to the parking lot before we do the live broadcast, and I tell the guy, we're going to be at the Blackfin until at least 11:30. We got live shows going on all day. Our show wraps up at 11. We're going to be here until at least 11:30. Guy says, no problem, awesome, got you covered. I walk in, we do our shows, life's good. At 11:20, we're done. Bob's like, you know what, guys, I'm not hanging out for a beer. I'm going home, I'm tired. 8 seconds later, my phone blows up. There's nobody here. I'm like, Billy, guys, I'll be back in a second. I go running out the front door. What do you mean there's nobody here? There's nobody at the valet.
I got a note on
There's nobody in the parking lot.
I got a note on my Volkswagen that says your keys are at Bastogne.
Oh, yeah. So we walk over to Bastogne. What do we find when we get to Bastogne, Bob?
A closed sign.
Closed at 11! Yeah. So we start banging on it. Dude, I'm calling my wife, just letting her know, hey, chaos has ensued. I'm probably taking an Uber home.
I'm telling David, do we call the cops?
Yeah, I'm like, what's the protocol in this situation? So we're banging on the door, and we're calling the number that they left us for Bastogne, hoping somebody will answer. No.
I'm ring finger on the window, which is like, I thought I was going to break the glass at one point.
Oh, yeah. So finally, at like 11:35-ish, the last guy from the cleaning crew apparently took his headphones off and comes stumbling up to the front door, and he was like, what's up? We're like, dude, do you have keys? Oh, yeah, man. Dude left your keys here. Absolutely. Hold on just a second. I'm like, wait. There are more cars than just ours in the parking lot. Do you maybe want our tickets to match up with our keys so that we get the right keys?
There's a Tesla P85D in the parking lot.
Yeah, dude, you got a ticket? Yeah, here's my ticket. Stumbles on back, stumbles on up with our keys. We get our, and then we're good to go. But there were still a good 10 cars in that lot. Well, I'm immediately calling him because I'm like, dude, where'd you park? Yeah, Billy. I'm like, and he's like, no, I'm good. I didn't park there. I'm like, all right, well, then you were smarter than we were because screw everything about those guys.
I was going to send a mean tweet to Bastogne and everything, but I didn't. I'm going to rate you a 1-star Yelp review.
It's not their fault.
Whoever they sublease the lead.
No, it's not their fault because it's the idiot parking guy's fault who said, you know what, we're leaving. I'm going to leave these keys with A, the establishment that closes at 11 p.m., or B, Blackfin that's right across the street and all brightly lit up and is going to be open until 2 o'clock in the morning.
You know, he could have left a note on your car saying, I left them underneath your car.
Oh, that would have been even better.
Open your trunk. There's your keys. Yeah. Go to Bad Karma. I wish on all you.
And we're there, dude. We use that lot every time we have an event at Blackfin.
May you eat Hungry Howie's and get diarrhea.
Now I want to punch. I do. I want to punch the guy. I so irritated.
So going to the news of the week, one of the coolest story I read this week was the guys that saw. You know how TSA has like a master lock for all the luggage.
Yeah, like every luggage you buy now has like a little TSA approved sticker on it. Yeah. Right? So they can break into it at will.
So some butthole from the TSA posts the key as like an image. I don't even know if it was on the Twitters or where he posted it. Some guy with a 3D printer says, thank you, and makes a key, and then post the, where did he post it online? Like he posted it somewhere.
Oh, he posted the schematic online.
Right, but not on, like on Torrent or wherever he put it. So now there was like 30,000 downloads of this TSA key in a matter of 2 hours before. Yeah. So like now it's like, guys think we got to change. So now everybody's walking around.
Oops.
And it wasn't difficult to make this thing apparently.
Well, all a lock is a bunch of tumblers, right? And then what do you do if you have like 20 million keys out there with one combination? What do you do?
By the way, just so I can throw this in here, today's broadcast on Pandora is ad-free. In case you didn't know, today's broadcast on Pandora is ad-free.
So in 3 minutes, will you tell me that again, please?
So those idiots, they went ad-free. And then, did you know about this, Jeff? They went, Pandora goes ad-free. But they decide, it's kind of like a 96.3. We're doing, ad-free Wednesdays or whatever. But yet every 3 songs, they would remind you that where Pandora's ad-free today. And they would have like a drop, so they didn't just go ad-free all day. They had to tell you every 3 songs.
They had ads to tell you that they were ad-free all day.
It's a business model.
Right. This is to anger your, I'm sorry, this free service that I'm no way obligated to use.
To use is mildly inconveniencing you.
Right, exactly.
My Facebook layout changed.
But you know who's angry this week? You know who's having a bad week? Dave.
Oh, Dave.
They're remaking 2 of his favorite movies. With Shiza.
Let's go ahead and get into this.
No. Which one? Okay, we'll do the lower hanging fruit first. Ronda Rousey is going to play Roadhouse.
Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse.
Now,
don't get me wrong. Ronda Rousey Roadhouse reboot. Like it has a cool a little alliteration thing going for
the
it.
Story of a bouncer at a country bar that overtakes the local mafia. Right, because it's great, but it's going to Ronda Rousey. Yeah,
that's going to be outstanding. That's going to be epic. That's why can't they just leave freaking things alone?
Only if the bad guy dies at the end with a big ass stuffed bear falling on him.
The bear fell on me. No, it was the dumb guy that had the bear fell on him.
That's right. Sorry. And only if Ronda Rousey.
Wesley got shot like 19 times to hell and gone. That's how he
survived that. Oh no, Wesley died, but didn't Patrick Swayze get
the bear
shot?
fell on me.
And then the worst one of all time is.
There are rumors that this may have been a satire website.
Nope. Nope.
The story that came, and I feel like I almost have to cue the song up again. Johnny Depp is going to star in a remake of The Godfather. That cannot be.
Hold on, reboot or remake?
No, remake.
So same story, different actors.
Well, they said they're going to update it so that it's like 2015 relevant.
So they're not using Tommy guns anymore.
Kind of like Total Recall, also a steaming pile of shit.
But
they're not going to remake The Godfather. That's
but
the
it's
most ridiculous.
The Godfather.
They're not going to remake The Godfather. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That cannot be accurate.
They're remaking Scarface, not as Scarface.
Okay.
Also,
that's dumb. That's fine, but they're not.
No, it's not.
You can't compare Scarface to Godfather 1 and Godfather 2.
No, of course not.
Absolutely no.
You can remake Godfather 3 to your heart's content. You know what? Because maybe eventually you'll get it right.
Godfather 3. You could obliterate Godfather 3. You can do whatever the hell you want with that movie.
So good.
They are not going to remake.
So good.
Either
Side
of the
note.
Godfathers.
It came out about a year ago. We're having the conversation about The Godfather.
Oh, stop.
Bob somehow made it to the age. Bob became a 41-year-old man, having never seen The Godfather.
Yeah.
That look was the look on my face.
This is why I stopped telling you guys what movies I've seen and not seen, because I will never live it down.
So literally, it became required viewing, and so he went home and he watched The Godfather. And he was like,
all of them.
He's like, I get it. He's like, now I understand The Sopranos better. Now I understand Casino better. Because I'm like, yes, that was the origin of them all.
Well, I will say this: if they do remake any of those movies, and there's some good clips from it, you could extend your intro to like 8 minutes instead of 6. Are we on yet? Is the intro still on?
Yes, we are actually live and just not talking to each other.
You'll have to excuse me. I got to go feed the meter.
Where's the damn bell? So what the hell else is going on? I don't want to talk about stupid Windows 10. Kiss my ass. Make me download it.
You know what? There are 2 quickies. So one, I'm interested. I believe it was Funko that came out and said that there aren't enough subscription boxes that I have coming to my house already. There's a new Star Wars one that's coming out.
It's like a loot crate for Star.
It absolutely is.
Whoa.
Isn't it bad enough I got razors.
I got Loot Crate. I got Harry's showing up on auto
Organic
ship.
vegetables.
I got
stupid.
I got Play showing up on auto ship with Legos. I got now I have Star Wars. That's just how that's going to have to be.
You don't get Netflix Blu-rays anymore, so it just replaces that. So then you're good.
I never got Netflix.
Oh, I totally did.
I always went streaming.
I was an idiot.
Yeah.
Then I would send them back for like 3 months, and I'm still paying them monthly. Well, it's the same thing as like Blockbuster. You have like $82 in late fees. I'm like, I could have just bought all these damn things.
Redbox was the same thing. It's like, how many days did I wait to take that damn DVD back?
Right. I'm too lazy. The cool thing, though, is the judge ruling. You know how we talk about Uber almost every week.
We do. That is an often recurring topic, and we love those guys, and we love everything about them. But yeah, so and there's been all this legislation and lawsuits and all this stuff about they're operating under these different rules and different guidelines, and basically a federal judge came down and said, okay, taxi companies, here's the deal: either figure out how to compete with Uber or die.
You know, the great thing about that is in New York City, a medallion license to license a single taxi.
Yep.
It's like $1 million.
Yeah.
It ebbs and flows with market trends.
$1 million.
It's ridiculous.
What is that, like a 30-year payback? You don't make them that much as a cabbie.
So I talked to cabbies in New York City, and apparently you have to make $125 in fares before you make a single dollar as a cab driver.
That's Nuri, our man on the street.
I'm always the guy with the facts. It's true.
New York is in the Philippines. Where aren't you?
That's worse
in
than
Detroit.
the
That's where
tip
I'm at.
out at the strip joints about a mile and a half from there.
Right. I made 300. No, you made 40.
Well, and hey, speaking of strip joints, God bless them. We've had this conversation too. So the internet, all technology on the internet, basically comes down to porn. We've had this conversation a million times. You talk about streaming audio, porn sites.
What about PayPal?
Streaming video, porn sites, recurring credit card processing online, porn sites, recurring billing, porn sites. It all comes back to porn. Well, one of them is now trying to give back. Pornhub.com has announced that they will give a $25,000 scholarship to any college student that can talk like
Takes off their shirt.
No, and they're actually very upfront. They're like, no. It's if you get the money, what is your degree going to do to enrich humanity?
Oh, since Pornhub makes everyone happy, they want to help other people who.
No,
want to make
it's Pornhub, the greatest source of nothing on the internet. What are you looking at? Nothing.
They bring so much happiness to people's lives. I mean,
and now they have it. They have a $25,000 scholarship. Good for them.
Do you guys have a promo code for Pornhub? While we're at it,
I will reach out and make that happen.
I was just going to say, I thought all strippers were pre-law. Until he ruined my joke.
or going for their childhood degree, their childhood education.
Yeah, exactly.
Degree.
I'm going to be a teacher. But hey, we're going to go up against a quick break.
No. We have to talk about the guy who's having the worst week ever.
You?
No. The guy who was having the worst week ever is fireworks are a big thing. They legalized them in Michigan. You can buy them everywhere. You can do. Apparently, the people in the neighborhood behind me think you can shoot them off 24/7.
Every holiday.
No. Every day. If it's a day ending in Y, that's a special enough day to shoot off fireworks, according to the people that live in the sub behind me. But so there was a guy who apparently the backyard stand or the yard stands weren't good enough. And so he was selling fireworks out of his house. Like he went and bought just like massive amounts of fireworks.
Illegal black market fireworks.
Oh, yeah. And, when the fire crew showed up from the 911 calls that they got, his house literally was no longer standing. And this was in Sterling Heights last week. And, it is sad that he died. But
no, it's not.
That's kind of Darwinian evolution in motion. If you're dumb, you die. It is what it is. If you're going to pack your house full of illegal fireworks, you kind of got to expect that to happen.
I'm sorry. I root for anyone who shoots off those damn things to blow their hand off or
thin the herd.
I can't stand it. Who decided to make these things legal?
Oh, the legislature.
Is that Rick Snyder?
No, it's the legislature because there was so much tax revenue that was going to come in to fix our roads and make everything better.
Is this when they weren't sleeping with each other and sending out missives about potential?
Oh, yeah, no. I wasn't having an affair with my coworker. I was
having gay sex in an alley, right?
Oh,
God.
It stops me from driving to Indiana to buy him Kiss My Ass.
Does it really, Bob?
Yeah, it does. They were at the corner in Muldoon's parking lot this year. It was a wonderful day.
So Jeremiah just sent us a message.
I guess I'm rooting for you to die. So I'm sorry.
No, it's cool.
Nice meeting you.
We have a promo code. We have a promo code for Pornhub. It's IT on the D. Thanks, Jeremiah. That's awesome.
Can I get full HD movies on there now?
4K, yeah.
60 FPS.
On that note, we're going to go up to a quick break. We got an awesome special guest, Jeff Moss, here from the Detroit Sports Rag. This is the IT in the D Show, and we will be right back.
IT in the D. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time. ITinthed.com.
This show is broadcasting live from Detroit Sound Studios above Activate Gaming and is part of the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT in the D Show.
Do you know what your storage costs? We do, and that's why we're doing something about it. At Quantum, we think you're just paying too much, period. We've been helping our customers protect their data since 1981 while reducing their total cost of ownership, often by as much as 40%. We believe your strategic data protection plan should take advantage of all available technology. Let's talk some more at 586-745-4DXI. That's 586-745-4394. Quantum. Established name, new ideas.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D Show.
Welcome back. This is segment 2, episode 109 of the IT in the D Show, often imitated, never duplicated. We are sitting here live in the Detroit Sound Studios above Activate Gaming in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy, always here with Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG in the house. Find us online, itinthed.com. And don't forget, September 17th, Pinksa Party. Mark your calendars. Tell your friends. Tell everyone. The whole world's going to be there. Job fair that doesn't suck.
We have people on Twitter that are tweeting at Pornhub that we would like a promo code.
Yeah, I've caught that.
I've liked all of them.
So speaking of, a bunch of stuff came out last week that we were reading.
Let's set the backstory because there's some history here.
Okay, fine.
So once upon a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, or back in March on our website, I wrote a blog that I thought was fairly, on point. That was basically, if you don't like all the change that's going on downtown, get involved. Don't stand on the sidelines and bitch. Get engaged. Like get more involved. And there were some people who took that and ran with it and turned me into a big giant racist who hated black people living in Detroit apparently. And that led to me showing up on Flashpoint, which actually did phenomenally for our numbers. It actually made our readership go through the roof and our listeners go through the roof.
Devin Skilling's a cool dude.
He actually really, really is. He is a tan, cool MRFer.
Tall.
He truly is. Oh yeah, he's like not like normally like, oh, I met somebody from TV and they're like 4 feet tall.
Like Mitch Albom. They're all Mitch Albom size.
Tom Cruise.
No, so it was phenomenal. So, I mean, the end result was good, but it was still a major pain in the ass for me to deal with. And so imagine my surprise when the exact same thing basically happens to somebody this week.
From the same person.
From the same person. Yeah, God bless Doucheline. And so we had this whole conversation, and we reached out because he was dealing with the same issues that we had dealt with. And so we felt like we had to have him in. And so, Moss, thanks for coming out. So you run DetroitSportsRag.com.
Yes.
Yes.
Am I under oath here?
No, exactly.
Where's the court report?
Exactly. On the advice of counsel, I refuse to answer that question. So tell me a little bit about Detroit Sports Rag and what it is that you do and what your focus is, and then we'll get into the fun and excitement you've had in the past week. So
the Detroit Sports Rag is a website I created. It'll be 13 years in March, the day before the second Iraq War started. It's basically a website that critiques the Detroit sports teams and the media that cover those teams. It's kind of, I guess, if your listeners aren't familiar with the site, if you've read Deadspin, kind of like a Detroit version of Deadspin. I think I was 3 years before them, and I'm not nearly as successful, but I didn't copy from them. But that's if you're looking for something in comparison, it's basically something
Well,
like
I read through the site, and so here, your shtick, like your basis is you're honest. You're not a fanboy. You're not blowing smoke up anybody's ass. You tackle the teams as they are, flaws and all, and that's what you talk about.
No, I'm not bought and paid by bought and paid for by
Right.
teams or anyone. I don't have advertising on the site other than Google ads, so nobody can tell me what to say. And I give an honest appraisal of what I think the teams are doing.
Refreshing.
And to me, as bad as some of the management of the teams are, the media, the Detroit sports media, is really the major impetus of why I created the site, because I think they weren't doing their job. I think they're awful, 95% of them, and I wanted my own platform because I think sports talk radio is garbage in this city.
See, Bob, the more I talk to this guy, the more we are so going to hang out more with him. So, the backstory with us, dude, we hated every other networking group on the planet in the Metro Detroit area with a passion. And so we started our own. Sounds like that's the exact same foundation you had.
Pretty much. And I have a journalism background. That's where I went to school for. And then basically I went to the family business, and I had no avenue to write or get my opinion out there. I didn't want to be at the whim of the 43-year-old
editors and advertising.
No, calling Scott Anderson a 43-year-old morbidly obese virgin and get cut off after 20 seconds because I said something about sabermetrics and it went over his disgusting head. So that's why I created the website, because I wanted to be able to say what I just said and not be filtered at all.
Well, welcome to our show.
Yeah, I can't imagine the best compliment we ever get is you say the things I wish I could, and I think that's every time I ever read your stuff, I always saw the similarities. Even though you're in sports and we're covering the IT industry, it was the same thing. We're not bought and paid for by anybody except for FanDuel and Hired.com. But for the most part,
and Uber,
right? But we're saying what we want, and if you don't like it, you don't have to hop along with it.
Don't buy an ad next week.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah,
we're good. That's No, but it's the Wayne's World. We will not cave to any sponsor. But so, all right. So, and in the history, and you've got some. I guess let's walk this story all the way through. So you've got a little history with the Lions organization.
They once tried to have me arrested. If you call that a history.
And not for stalking, I presume.
We're drinking too much at a game.
That story, okay, so the Lions hire Jim Caldwell. I wasn't thrilled with the hire. I still not thrilled with the hire.
I can't imagine why not.
I'm not a big Jim Caldwell fan. So they hire the guy, and the woman who ran, at the time, the Detroit Lions website, his birthday was the day after he got hired. So she photoshops a picture of Caldwell from his introductory press conference with his hands out. For some reason, he has hands out. And she put a Photoshop birthday cake with candles in his hand, okay?
Because nothing bad ever happens when you say, hey, Internet, Photoshop me.
Right. So I hate the Lions. They've ruined my life pretty much. I'm going to be 43 in 2 days, and I've seen a grand total of one playoff victory.
Right.
Okay? They've won one postseason game in 57 years.
Yeah.
They're an abortion. Okay? They're probably the worst sports franchise known to man. I think the Clippers have surpassed them in the last couple of years after they got rid of the racist
So Forbes
owner.
just ranked them as on the top of all the NFL teams. They are number 30 when it comes to relative value.
How many teams are there?
32.
There's 32 teams.
So I don't know. I didn't look. I don't know who 31 and 32 are. But wow, sucks to be them.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers
with a brand new stadium, and it's mind-boggling. It's you gotta suck.
Well, I think part of that is because they're awful for a lot of reasons, but I think part of that is because they didn't really take a lot of money from the city, from the state when they built the stadium. I think the Ford's kind of fine, but whatever. What happens on the field is what I'm mainly concerned with, and it's been awful. I had to deal with the Ford family basically forcing Barry Sanders into retirement, the greatest player that ever played for the franchise.
Yeah.
The Matt Millen Holocaust.
I'm not even a football fan, and I know how insane that was.
0-16. I mean, we dealt with we've had players die in the field, get paralyzed
on the field. Yeah,
We've had
run over
okay?
by a truck mowing the grass. Remember that one?
That would be Eric Andelsack. Yeah,
he was getting into an accident trying to save their pizza.
Yeah. He was cutting his lawn, and I think he got hit by a semi.
Yeah,
he had another player, Reggie Rogers, who was like the 7th pick overall, first-round draft choice. The next season, I think, killed 3 kids drunk driving or something. I mean, the franchise has
some issues,
to say the least. So I'm aggravated about the fact that everything I just mentioned, that I'm never going to see a team win a Super Bowl, to the point where even if they won at this point, my comparison has been, if you're married for 25, 30 years, and let's say you're the wife, and the husband cheats on you, beats you, gambles all your money away, and then, like on your 30th anniversary, gets you a Tiffany necklace.
Right.
Does that make everything okay? No. I'm not sure. I think they passed the point of no return, where even if they won a Super Bowl, what they've put me through for the last 37, 38 years being a fan.
Nothing's going to make up for it.
So my analogy, Jeff, my analogy was always, if you get a box of poop for your birthday for 30 years, don't expect to get a Rolex on your 31st. That's all I'm saying.
So that's the backstory.
So back to the Photoshop and the cake.
So now this piece of garbage, Chrissy Wyrod, who ran their website at the time, she now has gone on to her whatever she's doing, some affiliation with the Lions, but she's not working for them directly. So I tweet to her, can you do me a favor and tweet a Photoshop of William Clay Ford Sr. in a casket? Now, he was still alive at this point. So that's what I tweet. So that's what I tweet to her, which, okay, it might have been in poor taste, and but they know who I am. Tom Luan, who's the team's president, who, by the way, got that job. Is she still here?
Relation.
Oh, yeah, it's a D. Right, you're asking if it was an N. I was wondering if I was being set up, but then
it's a trap.
Actually,
people ask me all the time.
Right. Well, your name's actually like the former offensive lineman from U of M, Luan.
Yep.
Who? That's a whole other story we get into. But so Tom Luan, the president of the team, follows me on Twitter. These people all know who I am. They couldn't have possibly thought me making a joke about a Photoshop was some sort of threat, except Chrissy Wyrot filed a complaint with the Lions security. The Lions security called the Allen Park police because that's where their training facility is, right? They called the police. Now, when they called the police to file a report against me, did they go over to the Allen Park Police Department, a city, by the way, that's under an emergency manager like Detroit was?
Right.
Okay? And I think Flint. They don't have a lot of money. They don't have a lot of police because of that.
Right.
Did they go over there and make
So they have better things to worry about.
Exactly. No, they called the Allen Park Police and said, send a black and white over to do a drive-by and take this report. So a police officer...
Is that when they shoot out their window at your house or no?
Yeah, right. A police officer...
It wasn't like training day.
An Allen Park police officer in a destitute city had to get in his car, drive to the Lions facility to take a report about a Photoshop joke. So now I get later I got
don't even know how to respond to that.
Later I got the police report after I did a Freedom of Information Act request.
Right.
I didn't know at this point, but it listed victim as William Clay Ford Sr., suspect Jeff Moss.
Oh my God.
Okay, and then it gave
Please tell me you have that framed in your house somewhere.
I do. I have it in my house. I do have that.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so now the detective, a freaking detective, emails me. I thought it was a joke.
Don't leave town, son. Don't leave town.
Right. He emails me and says, we want to talk to you. I'm like,
about what?
So he tells me, right? So I call him and I'm like, what's this all about? He tells me. Now I'm a Howard Stern fan for 25 years. I figured this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I'm going to blow this up. I'm going to go to the Allen Park Police Department with like 8 attorneys because my website I got more attorneys than Huntingman on my website.
You kind of have to at this point.
Exactly. So they're all willing to do it pro bono, volunteer, just give their time. So I'm like, I want to bring my attorneys down to talk to you. He's like, no, this is just nothing really serious. We just have to make the call. We get a complaint, we have to make the call. So I get the FOIA. I get all the information.
Well, yeah, you got to make the call. I got to have my attorney with me.
I'm like, they're like, can you please, I'm like, I'm not going to stop doing anything. Whatever you want to do, you want to do. They're like, all right. Well, we made the call. We did what we had to do.
Right. We have fulfilled our obligation under the
But that's what happened. Now, people yesterday, I'm on Twitter, Jeff Moss DSR, by the way. I'm on Twitter bombing the team because. I mean, I'm actively rooting against this franchise. I don't want them to win. I'm on Twitter yesterday making fun of them. They blow a 21-3 lead.
21-3 lead, for the love of God.
People are saying to me, how can you root against the Lions? I'm like, did they call the cops on you? Did they try to get you arrested?
So now, with that backstory in mind, let's flash forward to this past week, where you published, all things being equal, a relatively not too bad article mocking someone because, well, their job was riding a bike around with a
Mackinac or something
with a helmet.
Well, let me give. Last, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday, my website breaks a story that ended up getting stolen by WDIV and the Free Press.
That never happens.
A few days later,
never happens.
But we broke a story that. Not only was Brad Ausmus going to be fired by the Detroit Tigers, now the next manager is going to be Ron Gardenhire, the ex-manager of the Minnesota Twins. My managing editor, Justin Spiro, broke the story wide open.
So you're not like, and I guess that's so for clarity's sake, like you are not just like some 15-year-old living in his mom's basement. Like you've cultivated contacts throughout industry and sports.
We broke the story about Harbaugh getting hired by Michigan, Dave Brandon getting fired by Michigan. We broke the story about Rick Carlisle years ago getting fired by the Pitt. We've broken many stories. I mean, everyone knows who we are. We're pariahs. We're ignored by the mainstream media.
Well, no, apparently you're paid close attention to. They just steal your stories and don't give you credit.
Exactly. Okay, so we write the story, and this douchebag at Deadline Detroit, Alan Stamm, okay? And he's done this before. He does aggregate. I think the whole website is just basically taking other people's stories.
It's copy and paste 101. Absolutely.
And then saying, this is what someone's saying, and here's the article, and blah, blah, blah. He's done it like 3 or 4 times.
And here's how I can twist this to my own end. And,
right.
Yeah.
To get people to click without doing any work whatsoever. So, okay, fine, whatever. I don't mind the free publicity. He links it to the story about Gardenhire being the next Tiger manager.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. What pissed me off was he does it with this condescending approach saying, well, this story is so big, we can't ignore the Detroit sports rag on this one. Like, you're taking my content and insulting me.
Wow,
why don't you just...
This all sounds vaguely familiar.
Very familiar. Okay. So I'm driving home. I was in Chicago. I'm driving home, and actually to post the article, I had to pull over at a rest stop to...
Just don't go in the woods.
I didn't go,
Michigan.
No, there was no glory holes involved. I just I had to post the article, the Gardenhire story. So I'm driving back, 4.5 hour drive, 5 hour drive, whatever. And I'm looking at Twitter when I get to a light, when I get almost home. And I see Deadline Detroit again talking about the Detroit sports rag. So I retweet it thinking, they're just...
Oh, sweet publicity. Click.
No,
yeah.
I just think, okay, they're just talking about the Gardenhire story again. So because I don't want to get killed in a text and drive thing, I did wait till I get home. And I look at it, and this son of a bitch who is using my content to get clicks is now attacking me for the most mundane thing I've ever said in my life.
Uh-huh.
I tweeted out, okay, Detroit Lions have their own website, okay? Where they
and their
have
own staff and their own,
right.
Yes.
So they got Tim the size of 20 men, who is a writer. Okay, he used to write for the Detroit News, this slob, and then the Lions paid him to be their beat writer.
Right.
Okay? Mike O'Hara, who was covered the Lions for the Detroit News for I think 97 years.
Right.
Okay, since they were wearing leather helmets, he now writes for TheLions.com. And this girl, who's I guess 23-year-old girl from University of Florida.
Can we have him on every week?
I know, right?
This girl named Tori Petrie. Okay, who is their video blogger, whatever.
Photographer, yeah.
Now, all of these people write for the DetroitLions.com. They're
on their payroll.
Their paycheck. When their paycheck comes, It's basically signed by Bill Ford
Detroit
Jr.
Lions, yeah.
Okay? That's who's paying them. And they call themselves journalists. I have no problem if the Lions want to have a website and they want to pay these shills to write for them. But they're PR hacks. They're not journalists. Okay? So, benign tweet for me because this Tori Petrie has a helmet of the Lions. She's playing some like hide-and-seek game, I guess. It's sponsored by Farm. I didn't know what it was. But she says, well, guess where I am with this Lions helmet? I had no idea the background that this was some sponsor thing. I had no clue. So I just tweet to her, like, are you that
this
desperate?
is your job.
Are you desperate?
This is your job.
You're taking your a Lions helmet to Mackinac, taking it to Taoist. Like, what are you doing?
Give us another puff piece, why don't you?
Yeah, like, okay, so, for things that I said 100 things worse that day.
Dude, I read, like, probably, I'll call it a dozen, maybe 15 articles on your site. That was nothing.
And then
nothing.
My next tweet was she posted an interview with the Lions general manager, Martin Mayhew.
Right.
Okay?
So person who works for the Detroit Lions has an interview with the Detroit Lions GM, Martin Mayhew.
Her office is literally like 25 feet, I've been told, from Martin Mayhew. That would be like you interviewing him, okay? Hey.
That was Dave and Bob. By the way.
So, Bob, let me ask you the real hard, tough questions here.
What'd you say, David? It was like the chef critiquing his own food or whatever?
Oh, no. It was like basically the waiter. No, it was the hostess at a restaurant posting a blog on the restaurant's website and the chef tweeting out, hey, come read my crap.
Right.
So all I said was, well, I'm sure this is a Mike Wallace-esque interview.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I said, referencing the Dead 60 Minutes reporter. So now, Alan Stam takes those two tweets and writes like a 700-word article attacking me, saying, how dare I go after a 23-year-old girl?
Because you're a misogynist now.
Yeah, I'm a misogynist.
Yes.
Because I attack everyone equally. It doesn't matter, Jewish, gay, transgender, black, I attack everyone the same. But because she's 23 and a girl, all of a sudden I'm a misogynist.
The playing field is actually level. That's the issue.
Okay, so he writes this article. Keep in mind, the same day...
You're a bully, Jeff.
Right, I'm a bully. I'm a bully. Because I said these two things about this girl.
Self-professed asshole on his front page of his homepage.
Oh, dude, the header...
Right. I am an asshole.
Yeah, you go to DetroitSportsRag.com has the header that we should probably have. It really does.
I want it.
Yeah, it's a quote from Michael Hastings, who was a very investigative journalist, very good, who ended up dying, maybe killed by the government, maybe not, we don't know. But it's a quote, yeah, I know I'm an asshole. The point is, they're assholes.
Right.
That's basically the theme of my website. Okay, so now, whatever. The guy, all I said to him, and this guy is, like I said, he's used my content before, and he follows me on Twitter. I never had an adversarial
I think the
role.
worst part, he started tweeting every single person.
That's what I'm going to get to. He starts tweeting and tattling on me to Mike O'Hara, to Lynn Henning, who writes the Baseball of Detroit. He starts telling people, I stood up to Jeff Moss.
Why are you following this misogynist?
No, he didn't say that. They're not. They blocked me on Twitter. But no, he's trying to show
with honor.
What a tough guy he is. That he stood up to me and he's tattling on me. Well, you could add. That's the story basically.
So, and I'm not going to lie. So
you and Dave have something really close in common.
So when we had our issue, I published a little I published a little addendum. To the note that he went off about, and I kept it above board because I try to, and I'm not gonna lie, I wish Bob would have let me write the piece that I wanted to write and publish on our site, which is basically the one that you wrote.
You can write it and post it on mine.
Which was.
His wife looks like his mother?
Yeah. No, which was F.U. Alan Stam, F.U. Doucheline Detroit, and I seriously, that's why I wanted to have you on, because good for you for not taking the shit.
Well, before I even responded to him, because he never, all the backstory we just gave about why.
Here's the best part. Did he reach out to you at all?
No.
For anything?
Didn't reach out to me.
Any context?
No.
Any backstory?
Well, other than stealing my content for the other story.
But did he ever reach out to you?
Didn't reach out to me after my opinion.
Because that never happens.
Okay, so he writes this, which is, he's just trying to get cheap heat. He's just trying to get web clicks.
Right.
So he goes after me, thinking my people are just going to read it because it's attacking me. Before I even responded to him, I said, look, you don't get the whole entire story. You're giving your readers maybe 25% of what's going on because they don't know why I don't like the lines or whatever. Let me write a rebuttal, and you can post it on your website, which I don't know why he didn't accept because it'd probably be the most read thing that they ever had in that piece of crap.
No, you get enough traffic already. Didn't he say that?
It'd have been original content. He says, you've got your own platform. Yeah, I know I got my platform, but 72-year-old grandmothers who are reading your website aren't going into the Detroit Sports Rag, so I kind of want to get my story out to the actual people who read it on your dumb site.
Yeah, to the people you just pissed off.
Exactly, who just told me that I'm a misogynist, I'm the worst person in the world because I said that maybe someone who works for the team isn't going to ask tough questions to the general manager. So he says, no, he won't do that. Okay, well, fine. You don't want to do that? I'm going nuclear.
And click.
But what pissed me off is okay, you want to... There's a lot of reasons, as your listeners probably have heard in the last 20 minutes, of why you go after
our
me.
Listeners are familiar with us.
You could go after me for plenty... I've done things that I probably shouldn't have done on my website.
And I've always said,
but you go after me for this? For why?
Hate me for all of the valid reasons that you want to hate me. By all means. Hold me accountable for everything I've ever actually done. I've done enough that you don't need to invent things.
Who are you? You've got 500 followers on Twitter. You look like Larry David if he got hit with the ugly stick with none of the talent. You piece of crap. And then it's like,
thank you, Jeff.
Then this passive aggressive moron. People are like, anyone who would going on Facebook on their and saying, "Oh yeah, you're right. This guy's horrible."
Here's what I learned, and here's what I trace back. Basically, the top 5 commenting accounts on his Facebook page are him.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Oh no, no. There's no hiding from Dave.
If you're gonna create an account or a website like that, wouldn't you want to give some original content? I mean, what's the point?
And don't have the only friend be you, and don't have
this is the best part. Go to his website. I guess he's got some marketing company.
Yeah, that was straight out of 1999.
Oh, that was the best.
Oh my God, he's got this website for marketing that looks like my 10-year-old nephew created on some 1996,
in 97,
1996,
geocities.com.
I don't know what it is. You the old Seinfeld episode. You want to be my latex sale? I mean, you want me to go into? You want me to use you for marketing? You can't market yourself for I mean, what the hell? You train wreck. And then you go to his bio on his blog. I think he used to work for some grocery shopping newspaper in Birmingham or something. That's his major credential.
Patch.
The Birmingham Patch?
Yeah. Well, so that's the best part.
What is that?
The guy who, the major contributor to Deadline Detroit, and he lives in Birmingham.
Oh.
Wah, wah. And he hates suburbanites. Wah, wah.
We're all assholes. All right, last parting shots. We got to go to a break.
But we're so going to double back on this. But yeah.
Last parting shots.
Last parting shot. What? Do you think I got anything left in the tank? Let someone else talk.
All right. Well, hey, we'll come back. We'll dive in with our other guests who are just arriving after the break.
They're going to be just as vitriolic, I promise.
This is the IT and the D Show.
Looks like she's got a lot on her mind.
This is the IT and the D Show. We'll be right back.
IT in the D. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time. ITinthed.com.
This show.
IT in the D. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time. ITinthed.com.
This show is broadcasting live from Detroit Sound Studios above Activate Gaming and is part of the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Hello, everybody. It's Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are listening to IT in the D.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D Show.
All right, welcome back. Segment 3, episode 109. This is the IT and the D Show.
That was fun.
Just a little. Can we do that every day? We are hanging out in the Detroit Sound Studios above Activate Gaming in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob, the sales guy. Always here with Dave the Geek, Nuri, the BOM. Find us online, itandthed.com. And if you go to /meat, that's MEET, not MEAT.
Because we're not selling bacon yet.
No, we will soon. We're trying to private label brand some sausage from.
We absolutely are, actually.
And we're gonna have a /meat, MEAT.
I went to Europe and they had something called bacon sandwiches.
As they should.
Were really, really
It's called a BLT, man.
Like, they had that in Frankenmuth at Tony's?
Bacon, bread, and brown sauce. It was the best thing I've ever had. And it was like what they served at the wedding instead of pizza or conies. It was bacon sandwiches. And I totally didn't understand why we don't have that in America yet.
We can make that.
I think you should. I can get you the recipe.
So speaking of bacon sandwiches, we have Amanda here from Michipreneur.
Who's just getting here now and has not been sitting here for the last half hour with a cringe on her face.
No. So Amanda, you've gone through a little bit of a rebrand, refocus on Michipreneur.
Yeah, so we're in a totally different space. We tell positive, friendly stories of entrepreneurs across Michigan, and then we redid the website.
I love Jeff. Why are you here?
Jeff, the guest blog for you.
I'm adding some niceness to this conversation.
Can I guest blog?
I don't know about that.
I say nice things about my dog.
So, we just relaunched. It's now a new interactive platform. I mean, a lot of the stuff you guys were talking about, granted, you were talking about very, very particular situations, but in general, the media industry has difficulty coming up with business models that don't rely on traffic and clicks.
No, absolutely.
So
Because
that's
their big challenge is that traditional media is dying. It really, really is. I mean, it's, we're living in an on-demand world. It's not about, there's no such thing as must-see TV anymore. There's no appointment television. I can't tell you the last time I watched something live. In whether it's TV shows or like sports. I don't even watch sports live. I let it get at least an hour into the game, and then I start watching it.
I wish I could do that.
Instead of doing a national webinar presentation that I normally do, I've been asked to do a podcast now for my company.
Oh, I so wasn't going to bring that up.
No, we can. It's all right. I'm actually looking forward to doing it. But but you're right, though. Everything's becoming on demand, and people want to consume things the way they want, not the way you push it.
That, and I think you just have to be more than having some fresh content every single day, right? So what we did with Michipreneur is we're playing with the form to be more of a resource. We have open directories. You can find, as an entrepreneur, then you can find any resource for capital, for a startup, for a co-working space, accelerator, a class, all across the state of Michigan, without having to physically do all that networking yourself. It's just all in one online place, and eventually people too, so that it would be more of an online community. So that's the direction we're heading in, and it's just so we don't need to rely on those click-throughs. We provide more value every single day than we would need to with fresh content or copy and paste content, whatever the approach is.
If you look at how me and Dave put content on, we write whenever we feel like it. And all of a sudden, we're getting more clicks than the quote-unquote media in town. And so people are calling us the media. I'm like, don't you dare.
I'm not going to lie. The best thing we ever found, the best thing I ever found for our site was that stupid old post promoter plugin where, because we have literally hundreds and hundreds of, we've been writing crap since 2001. And so we've got just hundreds of articles that people have never even seen before because they're newcomers and haven't seen it. So old post promoter finds I have it set for anything that's at least 6 months old in these certain categories. Find it, bubble it up to the top every 3 days.
Don't be that guy post number 16, right?
Oh, dude, the very first one bubbled up not too long ago.
I mean, that's timeless content, right? So hopefully,
because they're still true.
Yeah, they're still the same people with the same issues. So you have to have timeless content and then usually timely content. So we're trying to do both of that with resources and news. But
well, yeah, because it pulls from the categories. It doesn't pull from the news and information category. Right. It doesn't pull from any of that. But the stuff our rants and vents about people that don't need to be at events. Yes, it absolutely pops from them.
So you're targeting entrepreneurs. I mean, what are they gonna? What kind of resources are they gonna get when they hit your site?
Well, first, you'll feel connected. So you'll read stories about other successful entrepreneurs, investors. We just interviewed the founder of Gas Station TV, right? I never really thought much about Gas Station TV other than that actually you do watch it.
Every
you stand there and you watch the TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's actually kind of a really good idea. But he sold his company to Dan Gilbert about a year or two ago. And now he has a fund for entrepreneurs. And very accessible guide. That's the kind of people you need our startup community connecting with, people who've had real success and sold their company and are giving back and growing. And there's a lot. You need to get away from that.
No stereo MCs. Keep yourself connected. Sorry.
You're digging, Dave. I think Jeff and I have the same mantra. If we ever do end up selling our companies, we're never seeing us again. The fact
we have our target. We have our target
number.
line. Exactly. Once, like if we can get 5 million each, we're out. You will never hear from us again. You will never see that's our. So Dan Gilbert, if you're listening, if you never want to hear from us again, 10 million is the price tag, and you will never hear from Dave and Bob again.
Tax free, make it 14. And I'll buy a little German bar, and I'll sit at the end, and I'll yell at people. That's what I want to do.
I'm stuck about $10,000 on my website since I started. So is there like anyone you could point me in a direction? Like
Jeff's willing to sell out. Apparently, is what he said.
No, I'm not willing to sell out. I mean, I just like to break even. I mean, it costs a lot of money to hire private investigators to like dig into the background of, media members in the city.
Who do that?
That me.
So what is
not a joke?
Well, so you're coming back next week, is what I'm hearing. So I mean,
looking for help.
No, so Michipreneur was always there. I mean, like, and you always had like a good catalog of links and resources and that kind of stuff. So what is this new, like, and because you reached out, because what is this new platform that you're talking about?
So if you go to michipreneur.com, you can take a look at it. It's now open to the community, so you can post your own startups, you can post your own events. It's all syndicated across the state and just open for everybody. And entrepreneurs are starting to contribute to the site too now. It has an interactive resource map. So say you're traveling to Ann Arbor or Lansing or Grand Rapids, and you're like, you want to connect with people or find others in your community, you could find them very easily through the new site.
So say I'm an IT guy and I want to work with startups. Is it something that I can post on the site and
absolutely.
say, hey, I have these experiences and I'd love to help your startup? Is that...
Yeah, we're going to have that soon. But right now, you could maybe find a job or find an event to go to meet people or write a story for us or something. But yeah, it's more of a platform.
So Jeff, you could be a guest blogger.
Potentially.
I think she's going to pass on that.
So, I mean, what types of, in terms of the entrepreneur community, are you looking startups, mid-range, enterprise?
All types of stuff. I mean, we tell stories about innovation, right? So someone who's successful or doing something new or something interesting will tell your story. If you're new, brand new, we give you that first visibility that, like you guys were saying earlier, I mean, we've had folks at Channel 4 said, oh, we go to you for any new business story. Like, we literally take your stories and put them on TV. And we're like...
But do they credit you when Channel 4 does it?
No.
That's the experience I have with them. They take my story, but they...
But you know what? I don't care because I did it first. It's there. You can actually tell by doing a little bit of Googling that it was there
It's
first.
just the
and it
satisfaction
helps those
of knowing that I helped make that happen.
And 17 days ago, you had yours there first.
No? I mean, it's on Google. It's not going to go away.
No, I understand that, but there is, in the journalism field, there is something called...
the dollars.
No,
giving credit.
For what you did breaking a story,
Right,
yes, totally, absolutely.
So besides written content, are you doing anything like in terms of meetups, workshops, things like that?
We're going to start doing a lot of that stuff. We do it a lot through Bamboo, which is like our co-working space. So they're both kind of connected.
You
in
can
a lot
cheap
of
plug
ways.
Bamboo. We like them.
So, I mean, but yes, there's a lot of different things we're going to start doing.
Could you spell Michipreneur? Because my readers aren't real smart, so they're probably not going to be able to figure it out if you want
It's
to
like
spell it.
Michigan Entrepreneur.
You think they can spell entrepreneur?
No. It's
Okay.
M-I-C-H-I
Where's the bell?
P-R-E-N
EUR.
E-U-R-R-R-R.
It's like a spelling bee because I need to ding the bell like 10 times.
But I
Can
think
you use it in a sentence?
Bob, you were telling me the story of
Country
someone
of
you
origin.
met on a plane
Yeah.
that was coming up with an app to find a bathroom.
Yeah, toilet line app.
And so we don't necessarily cover stories like that, but we
We
help.
got $2 million in funding from DVP to see how long a line is to poo at the ball game.
It was the DVP PP app?
Right. Exactly.
Quick story.
Yeah.
I have not used a public bathroom since 1985.
You didn't go here at all.
Did you have a
No,
traumatic-
I'm talking about not since 85. So that'd be a good app for me.
So you're like the original shit break.
Literally. And my followers like go to the most disgusting bathrooms and send me pictures, like telling me that they're dropping a number 2 there.
We want to write an app for like clean bathrooms. Like when you were like, oh my god, I gotta go. Like,
Right.
so you can go. It's like the Yelp for toilets.
I thought there wasn't that like supposedly
Cottonelle has one, but it's not good.
We want Pooper.
But
Is
wasn't
Pooper.
that
We want to launch
no E.
Pooper.
Yeah, but wasn't that when they did Curb Your Enthusiasm, the Seinfeld reunion? Wasn't that something like George was gonna be his app that he made millions on? And then
I never watched.
You never saw that?
No.
Yeah, Bob never watched Seinfeld.
No, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Never
I think
watched
that was.
either, yeah.
Did you ever watch it?
Off and on, yeah.
I think that was George made millions on that app, and then his wife took all the money.
So, man, are you seeing that? Like, we see like the bubble coming with all these apps getting funded and like not going anywhere. Not
Someone
turning revenue.
has to start asking questions.
I think it's better here than it is a lot of other cities. Like I just interviewed Jay Adelson, a successful VC serial entrepreneur. He did Dig and a bunch of other companies, and he was telling me that he's investing half of his IoT fund in Michigan companies because there's less of a culture of this like, I know I can do it, I'm the shit. There's less of a culture of entitlement. And he does not see that as much in Michigan as he does the Valley, which if you've been to the Valley and then you compare that to entrepreneurs you meet in Detroit, not necessarily clicks, but in general, a lot of the entrepreneurs,
you know what,
they tend to work a little bit harder.
Having hung out out there a little bit, I would absolutely agree with that.
We have a Midwestern ethic that's a little bit friendlier and a little bit down to earth.
What was that on Silicon Valley that the app that he created was called Bro? Like you could send a bro to somebody else, and
that's all it was.
Send bro back to you.
Bro.
That's like, that's like the WhatsApp app or whatever.
Yeah, it's
that
like what
exists.
Silicon Valley has become, right? Everyone's got an app. Everyone's trying to pitch their app. The doctor's trying to pitch an app. Everyone's trying to pitch an app. Michigan doesn't have that.
Not
well, no, but not only that, but I mean, it's more so it's far more cutthroat out there than it is here. Like one of the things that you will find here is that it is much more, sometimes to our detriment, open and sharing and community based. Where it's like, okay, look, this is what I want to do. How can you? And you think you're walking in with, hey, how can you help me make this better, regardless of IP or any of that other kind of nonsense. And it has its pluses and minuses, but I mean that's why Detroit is such a hotbed right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree. What you want me to like?
Dad, again, we for 109 episodes we've talked about this, where I think I'm asking a question, but I don't.
You just said exactly what I would say.
Amanda, so what you're saying is,
so what kind? I guess specifically, who is looking for? What can people find on Michipreneur.com? Who should be going there?
Right.
And what should they be expecting to find?
If you have an idea, if you have an early stage business, if you have a growing business, then it would be a good resource for you. We list all, for funding resources, we don't just list VC. So we do cover food and other industries. I think food is actually, an area that Metro Detroit and Michigan can capitalize on. You have Garden Fresh Salsa, which is sold for $250 million.
Let's not get me started.
people are angry at that one.
I am angry at that topic.
Why?
You have a lot of other
Local
Fonza
Michigan
pasta.
company that sounds like
Nuri's a hippie.
Oh, you
hippie, hipster, whatever. I want
not hipster. No, you're not a hipster.
I want locally sourced
You're
salsa.
a hippie.
You need to have a beard.
Chickens with names on them.
You need to have a beard if you're going to be a hipster.
I keep it clean, you know.
I'm happy he sold his company to a corporate giant.
Well, that's cool. He made it
for millions of dollars. Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, move to the Caymans and enjoy your life on the beach.
And make some new salsa, maybe with mangoes or bananas.
Right.
Mangoes.
Yeah, mangoes.
Come back with mango chutney. Life's good.
Don't ever say that word again.
So you're a small business owner, right?
I am.
So what are kind of the resources that you need when you're getting started? Or you've been going for a little while, so why don't you?
Well, and so you being Jennifer from Savvy Kids
Yes, I'm
Consignment,
sorry,
who's
Jennifer.
also here.
Welcome.
Thank you. Yes.
So what are some of the resources you kind of needed to get started? You obviously needed like an office. You probably needed capital or will.
Well, capital for sure, but an office, no. This is all from my house. And little background on Savvy Kids Consignment. We are a mom-to-mom sale, which actually has gone retail. We're a retail.
M2M. It's like B2B except with M's.
Correct. Yes. We are a mom-to-mom sale that is basically a pop-up retail store.
But you need to market that and get the word out. Right.
Absolutely. That's where That's where Billy comes in.
And then you need to find people to
And
help
Billy
you.
would be me.
That
The
would
guy
be-
that
that would be
everybody
Billy.
keeps pointing to, but nobody can see.
Pointing, it's great for radio.
That's right, Leah. Luckily, she's married to the guy who does the Facebooks and the Twitters.
Correct.
So what are
very,
some of the
very awesome for me.
What are some of the problems?
And is willing to go to Chicago when the house is full of stuff that's coming up for sale.
And he did that very, very willingly.
Did you have any problems you kind of faced getting started? Like in the very
Did we
early
have
beginning.
problems?
Well, no, so I know
Or
you had
challenges
issues looking
you had
for
to, like, get over.
just from our conversations. I know you had
Sure.
issues looking for space that would actually house something that was of the size that this turned into.
Well, actually, looking for space was not the problem at first. We had a great space. We have great resources. We're at the Warren Community Center. The problem at first was the space was extremely too large for what we started out as.
We had grand ideas on what size we thought or what the turnout would look like. We were expecting, it's our very first sale in an event that we had never done before. And so we were thinking, oh, this is a brilliant idea. Everybody's going to come out for this. And yeah, no, that wasn't the case. And so, one of the things that we learned is, for us, it was even when you fail the first time, and just because it's not as big as we thought it was going to be, that you have to keep at it. And the more that you just sort of take it and learn from the mistakes that you had at the first sale and make them better for the second and the third and the fourth, it just continued to grow and continued to get better.
Which we did. So we grew from barely taking up a quarter of the first gym, to now filling up the entire gym and bleeding into the next. So.
And all of that is in my garage right now.
And in our house, in our bathroom, and our...
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
It's a family endeavor is what you're saying.
Yes.
Right.
Kids' clothes everywhere.
All right, so hey, we're going to go up against a quick break. Thank you, Amanda. Hit them up, Michipreneur.com. If you don't know how to spell it, try to Google it. You'll probably find it. We'll
You'll
be
probably
back.
find our sound clip before you find their website.
I finally get to say Michipreneur.
We'll be back with Jen Strada from Savvy Kids. Jeff Moss from Detroit's Bars Drag is still in the house. This is the IT in the D show, and we will be right back.
IT in the D. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time. ITinthed.com.
This show is broadcasting live from Detroit Sound Studios above Activate Gaming and is part of the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Hey guys, it's Time Hawk, Bruce Leroy from The Last Dragon. You're listening to the IT&D Show.
Online Tech is the Midwest leader in secure, compliant, enterprise cloud and colocation hosting services. The company's network of 5 data centers protect mission-critical applications to ensure they are always available, secure, and comply with government and industry regulations. Backed by independent HIPAA, PCI, SOC 2, and Safe Harbor audits, Online Tech delivers exceptional experiences for companies in need of a strategic hosting partner. For more information, call 877-740-5028. Email contact us at onlinetech.com or visit www.onlinetech.com. This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D Show.
All right, welcome back. Segment 4, episode 109. This is the IT in the D show. We're hanging out here in the Detroit Sound Studios above Activate Gaming in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy here with Dave the Geek, Nuri the BOM. Find us online, itinthed.com. Mark your calendars. Pink Slip Party, September 17th, this Thursday. At the Majestic Theater, Midtown Detroit. There's going to be beer and jobs for people and in a 10-foot. Oh wait, did I almost spill the beans?
Yes, you did. Shut up.
And some delightful house music from the 10-foot tall
Exactly.
Nuri on stage.
Wait, is that Thursday?
That's
Yes.
Thursday,
Okay.
September 17th.
5 o'clock.
We've only said it like 17 times. Thank you for paying attention. But hey, we were talking to Amanda from Michipreneur and Jen Strada from Savvy Kids, and we'll jump back in with Jen real quick. Still got Jeff Moss in the house from Detroit Sports Rag. We'll get to him in a bit. But Jen, so what's going on? You got an event coming up, or what's? You guys have grown. You guys have blown up your little consignment shop. What's going on these days?
Yeah, we do. It's actually been 3 years this September that we've been in business, and we're actually not a store. We're a pop-up retail children's consignment event. So basically, you take a huge gym, boom, pop up. We have everything from children's clothing, accessories, everything else.
It's kind of like a classy flea market. Can I go there?
Sure.
No, Bob. No.
No, no. I mean, it's a large scale, localized mom to mom sale.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Department
Classy flea
style,
market.
which is
Stop it, Bob.
completely different.
You have to
from-
understand, in Bob's world, that's actually a compliment. Bob loves
I
flea
know,
markets.
I know. Which is why I haven't shushed him yet.
Is this like an every Saturday thing or like a once a month thing, or how often is it going on?
Twice a year thing.
Oh, twice a year.
Twice a year. Yep.
So these are huge when they happen then, right?
Absolutely. Huge event. Come basically get your entire wardrobe for the children for the entire season.
Jen, let me ask you a
Black
question.
Friday.
What's that?
But
Kinda
better.
Sounds like Black Friday.
It is like Black Friday. That's
Everybody
great.
has
Is the biggest problem? I think
Very
the
good.
biggest problem with those is you have two people that sell stuff. You have the moms that sell everything for a quarter, then you have the moms that sell everything at full blown retail.
Right.
That think they're like my kid never crapped in these pants. I'm charging you what I paid for them 6 years ago.
Right.
Do you work with them to help set pricing? 'Cause seriously, it's like a huge.
Well, we have a website, and we have pricing guidelines on the website. The website is savvykidsconsignment.com. So we definitely have guidelines, and we inspect items.
And you are free to follow them or not.
Absolutely. Yes. Pricing guidelines, and we inspect the clothing before they go on, before everything goes out on the floor. So we're
Now, so for those who don't know, like, what's the difference between a consignment sale and like your typical mom to mom sale?
all right, mom to mom sale. You walk into a gym, tables and tables and tables. And you walk in and you have no idea what's going to be on a table. You're looking for a size 5T. You go to a table. You don't know where the 5T is. Extremely annoying. What are you going to do? Our sale, completely different. Everything is sized, completely organized by size.
Yeah, so the difference is, so Jen ran some on-the-mom sales, and one of the things that she was frustrated about when she would go to a mom-to-mom sale was she's like, I'd go in and I'd have to spend 2 hours going from table to table asking people, do you have 5T? Do you have 5T? Do you have 5T? So the idea with Savvy Kids Consignment is that you take everything and you organize it by size so that a mom can walk in, go directly to the 5T section, grab the items she needs, and then she can check out just like a retail store.
So do you centralize payments, or does everyone kind of handle their own money?
Nope, it's centralized payment. So with a typical mom-to-mom sale, you would pay at one
so that's
table.
consignment. Right.
And that's exactly how it works. So we use the Square stands. So and then we have software that allows us to track it and track inventory. And then consigners can track what they've sold during the sale, and then they can log online, see how much they've earned, and then we send a check out a week later.
Very cool. So where's the event at this year?
It is at the Warren Community Center, which is on Mound.
5460 Arden Avenue, Warren,
Thank
Michigan.
Yep.
Well, and how many? I'm trying to think. For the folks listening, like how does somebody understand the economy of scale here? Like, how many tables are we talking about? How many folks are we talking about participating in this?
I guess our sale would be equal to a table sale of maybe 150 tables, which is considered like a mega sale. So it's pretty big.
I'm interested in a Ricky Henderson 1981 rookie card. Would you have that there?
I'm just going to do Grumpy Cat. No.
That would be the mom selling all their kid stuff to mom sale.
Oh, that's not what this is.
You know what's smart? The dad booth. It's kind of like we said. There always should be a bar inside of Hudson's.
Oh,
when you're
that's
like
a
wife
good
shopping,
idea.
like there's like that pub with like 6 seats in the middle. We should set up a falling down beer pub for the.
You know what? Can we do a barbecue pop up truck
It's a
outside with beer?
Really good idea.
I think just
for the dads.
Yeah, just kielbasa and beer.
Or
let's
tacos.
Because we get forced to go to this crap.
Tacos.
Dude, yes. Taco truck.
Crap.
From a guy perspective, it's
Oh, yeah. Like a cigar lounge outside. Hell yeah, I'm in.
Sure, we
There's
could
a
tie
football
this
field
into
right
the Ashley Madison discussion we were having during the break.
This little cigar and martini bar. Hey, man, did you get hacked? No, I'm good. You get hacked? Yeah, I'm screwed.
What's your Ashley Madison username?
I think my wife just joined last week.
So, all right. So it's in Warren. And it's about 150 tables. Like, is there an entry fee? Like, what should people expect when they walk in and get there?
Sure. There's no entry fee. Strollers are allowed, which is usually like a no-go for most mom-to-mom sales. So just walk in.
That makes sense.
9 to 8 on Friday, which is the 25th, and then 9 to 5 on Saturday. And most items on Saturday are half off, according to the seller's discretion.
After they double the price. I'm kidding.
Quadruple.
So Savvy, 2 V's, Kids Consignment.
Correct.
Kids with an S.
Yes.
Consignment.com. Cool.
So is it too late for people to sign up and say, hey, I have stuff that I want to sell?
No, absolutely not. Nope. We're accepting sellers until the very end, which is, I believe, Tuesday night. So.
And what's reasonable for somebody to say, hey, I want to sell? Like what are people looking for these things that they should be looking to have out there?
Larger items are always like really hot sellers. Strollers, car seats, cribs, baby equipment, bouncy seats, all that good stuff.
So you said larger stuff, and I'm like, 6X baby clothes?
Boo, Nuri.
Equipment.
That was great, Nuri.
Nuri and his dad jokes. That's me.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
So what didn't we hit on?
Jeff's bubbling here. He's got so much to talk about.
What's great, during the break, I got a text from my friend Lithy who said that, how do I get the job playing hide and seek with a lion's helmet? I would totally push that girl off her bike. Thanks for listening, Lithy.
Text of the night right there.
Going to get me in more trouble?
Is that possible at this point?
No, I don't think so.
So what's been, since you fired off that piece, it pretty much all went away, or is it still brewing, steaming?
Which piece?
When you said basically the 2 middle fingers up here,
Oh no, Stam?
Yeah.
No, he backed off. I mean, he was following me on Twitter, and after that response where I nuked him, and then I posted a picture of him and his wife, I guess, he blocked me on Facebook, unfollowed me on Twitter, so that was the last. I mean, he's not going to start a war with me. He knows I'm psychotic, and that I won't stop. I mean, I wasn't joking that I have private investigators on, retainer. So I don't think he wanted any part of me, so he backed off.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of one of those things where, the price of the clickety clicks wasn't.
No, it wasn't worth me just making his life miserable. And I mean, you can ask, Terry Foster. You can ask who else in this town, Lynn Henning. When I get a piece of raw meat and I'm interested in tearing you apart, I'm not going to let go.
So that's one of the.
But nobody knows Alan Stam. I mean, the guy's got 500 followers.
No, but so that's
it's basically for my entertainment and yours if I keep going after him.
Exactly. Which isn't a bad thing.
No. So one of the things you mentioned,
how much you're willing to pay,
right? So, and I find this interesting. You basically said you're the pariah of the Detroit sports scene, and yet you're pretty hooked in everywhere.
Well, let's put it
How
this
do those
way.
two things add up?
Well, let's put it this way: Detroit sports media hates me because I critique them and I go after them, and sometimes it's not pretty. So when we broke the story about Gardenhire being the next Tigers manager, and then Bernie Smilovitz and the Detroit Free Press had stolen that, nobody in the Detroit sports media would give us credit for the story and saying, wait, hold on a second.
Dude, that Periscope was outstanding,
right.
for the record.
The Detroit Sports Rag got it first. My, Justin Sparrow, who wrote the actual article and cultivated the source at Comerica Park. But Ken Rosenthal, who is the most acclaimed baseball writer probably in America,
absolutely,
who works for Fox Sports and does the baseball, baseball games. He's on.
It's not
he's
real
on TV.
until he says it,
right?
yeah.
This guy's got over 1 million followers. He gave us credit. He said the first person to report this story, he tweeted out, was the Detroit Sports Rag, Darko State News, who was Justin Sparrow, who wrote the article. So we'll get national attention or recognition before anyone in the media because they don't want to feed the beast. If anyone doesn't know who I am, they don't want to point out who I am. So really, basically, the Free Press, News, MLive, they basically have a policy that no matter what happens, I mean, I could have caught Bin Laden and killed him with my bare hands, and they would not have reported in Detroit who did it. I mean, they just will not mention me.
Well,
Because
it sounds
I
like
said,
you and Gator hang out at 24 Seconds all the time in Berkeley. I heard that rumor. Like you guys are tight.
Okay, so here's a story about Whale, Scott Anderson. We every year we run a tournament of 64, like the NCAA bracket of the worst Detroit sports media members. Okay, and then my followers vote on it through about a 2-week process in January. Last year, Scott, the virginal manatee, Anderson won the tournament. Okay.
I'm so lucky that I have FNG as my tagline.
Yeah.
Virginal manatee is just
that's atrocious.
Virginal
it's a
manatee.
whole nother level.
So not only do we write articles saying this guy is the worst member of the media, we have a presentation where we find the person. And if you go to my website, if you go to Google, just Google in Detroit Sports Rag, Scott the Whale Anderson, trophy. So we give him a trophy, and then we personalize it to the person who wins it. So last year, Terry Foster was voted on our website the worst media member, and we went to Buffalo Wild Wings in Detroit because he was doing a promotion appearance there, and he was in a corner where we had him. We knew he was going to be there, so I hired a mariachi band. Actually, it was a mariachi.
Dude, he is so us.
No, I hired a guy who does mariachi, and I had him play One Shining Moment in Spanish because he won the tournament. That's what they do in the NCAA tournament.
Right.
So we gave him his trophy, and so that was what we did for Foster. This year, right across from 24 Seconds is New Bar. I think the guy who owns 24 Seconds owns it. So they were 97.1 was having a promotional, and he was going to be there, Anderson. So we knew he was there, and he couldn't get away from us. So this year, we gave him a trophy. And we got rid of the mariachi band. We gave him a blow-up sex doll, with a shirt on it that said "Gators First." So that's the kind of shenanigans that we pull on our website. If you want to see it, we have video of that. He was not real happy. As a matter of fact, he curb stomped the sex doll, and we have video of that
Seems
too.
rude.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, we were giving him something, a gift.
Hours of enjoyment.
And then, and he curb stomped it. I mean, he just stepped right on it and kicked it. So that's the kind of stuff that we do at the website.
So do you think they kept,
all to entertain?
Do you think they kept those trophies?
No, I'm sure.
Right
it
next
was
to
in
their
the garbage.
Pulitzers,
It was like
right?
$70 right down. It's mainly for for our Periscope video and everything.
Right.
And I have a large trophy in my home office that has all of the winners, of the 3 winners. We had Michael Rosenberg from the Free Press, Foster, and then Anderson. So I keep that. And the trophy at top is it's a horse's ass. That's the top. So
is there anything we could do for? I'm thinking of the worst IT company. We got to figure something out. It sounds too good.
Well, the best part of the
Just a trophy with a
presentation.
giant douchebag on top of it would be
Winner for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
So that's the trouble we try to make with the Detroit. That's why they don't like me. I mean, it's reasonable why they don't like me.
You know what?
But you're being honest. Like that's the part I don't like. That's what kills me about the quote unquote media is that as soon as you get honest and real and genuine, that's when it stops mattering.
Well, you can understand if you're someone like Anthony Fennick, who covers the Detroit Tigers for the Free Press, and I'm writing reports about how he once flipped over a PT Cruiser while blowing a .21 blood alcohol content, and how did this guy get the job at 26?
You're honest.
Well, yeah, but they're not going to like it. If I wrote things about you, I mean, it's not stuff that they're going to like, but it just, like I said, it's built up. I used to be a little more tame, but over the last 13 years, things have progressively gotten worse. These teams have, started their own websites where they're basically spewing propaganda.
Right.
They're hiring people who are inept because, as you said earlier, the media business has gone in the tank because they can't figure out a way to monetize. Well, no, dude. There's the websites.
No, the sad reality is, and this is one of the rants that I had on our site is there's no such thing, truly. I won't say no. Very, very few and far between do you find a journalist in the media industry these days. Because because they've all been fired to make room, like to free up that salary to hire like 3 click monkeys that copy and paste press releases that come into the newsroom.
There are people who are do quality work. I mean, you get Jeremy Scahill, Glenn Greenwell, people on a national level. But my problem with sports reporters is they're self-hating. It's like they went to school, they got a job doing this, and if you criticize them, someone like Drew Sharp saying you're doing a bad job, you're lazy, you're just a troll. What you get from them a lot of times is it's just sports.
Right.
It's just sports, but this is your profession. This is what you went into, and
it should be a little deeper.
It seems like the people in this town, all they care about is racking up their frequent flyer mileage, racking up their Marriott points, and going for along
and
for
their clicks.
And going along for the ride. This is just a job. There's no actual journalism. When we break stories or we write stuff like that, it's not. There's no investigative reporting that's going on because these guys don't care. They just sit there. They go into the press box. They get their dinner, and they write whatever they see, and they go home and call it a day. That's why we break stories. We're breaking stories, major stories about hirings and firings in town, and these guys beating these beat reporters who are flying all over the country, traveling with the team. And a law student at John Marshall in Chicago who writes for my website finds out that Osmus is getting fired and who the next manager is, and they're already talking.
So I guess here's the question, though, then. Would you be happy if you became obsolete? Like if they actually started, quote unquote, doing their job.
It's never going to happen. I mean, yeah, I would be fine. Like I said earlier, I've lost thousands of dollars doing this. As a matter of fact, all the time in the last 13 years, if I wasn't working on my website and I just got a job at 7-Eleven selling Slurpees, I'd probably be retired by now. So, yeah, it'd be great if they were...
Sounds familiar, Bob, doesn't it?
Yeah. It'd be great if they were competent and I didn't have to do what I have to do, but it's never going to happen. And it's just getting worse because now they're hiring kids who have no ability to write.
Right.
This one guy who got the job, being the beat writer for the Free Press for the Detroit Tigers used to be a very prestigious job. It was, this is something that you would, for example, they had a guy who went to Harvard a few years ago. He's an idiot, but he had credentials. They hired this kid, and he's, they're probably paying him $35,000 a year because they don't want to spend the money.
Yeah, that's too much even.
Right. So, it's just getting worse. It's getting worse and worse by the year. And what I can see in the future is the papers stop sending the guys on the road,
right?
Because it's not cost effective. And what we're going to have is the teams
let some local teenager with a recorder.
The teams. What they're going for is they can control the message. So DetroitLions.com, they've got all the money in the world.
They can hire a fancy marketing firm.
You got billionaires owning these teams. What's stopping them from going out and hiring one of the renowned journalists and giving them a ton of money? And now they're controlling the message, and you're not getting anything from the Free Press or news anymore. So that's why websites like mine are needed. I wish there was more, quality writing coming from bloggers. Our website's critical, obviously, as you've probably heard in the last hour.
You know what you remind me of, Jeff? Honestly, it's like almost like a really good conspiracy theorist blog, and then everyone tries to go, "Oh no, he's a wacko, kook, tinfoil hat. He's stupid," right? Trying to discredit the message, but in the meantime, he's the one talking about something no one else is talking about.
Most of the people who went into blogging in the last 10 years, the big websites. Bless you, boys, for the Tigers.
Yeah.
Some of these other websites.
I own that. I own that domain like in 01,
really?
and I let it expire.
Oh, wow. I wish you'd have kept it so they wouldn't be around. But what they've done is because they're trying to make money. My job, I have a job where I make a living that I don't need to make any money off the website. So I can say whatever I want. But these guys, they're fanboys. And what they write is just they don't want to piss anyone off because they don't want them to stop reading. Every day I'm aggravating someone. I mean, yesterday I probably lost 50 Twitter followers because I was criticizing the Lions. But I don't care. These guys have to maintain the audience, and they have to keep people coming. So that's why their expose articles...
Middle-of-the-road garbage.
Their expose articles are, if it's Miguel Cabrera's birthday, they're going to post... that's what they post. And, let's all wish... Well, it's just garbage. And these are the guys who get into the... I'm banned from press conferences. I went to a Dave Dombrowski press conference was it 2 years ago, asked tough questions, and now they have someone stationed outside waiting for me in case I try to sneak in again.
Come on.
No, I'm serious.
What's their job title? Is it like finger pointer or no?
There's a video on my website of this girl. Her name's Kate Reddy. By the way, your buddy Alan Stam picked up on this article too about her and stole it from me. But she was standing out there waiting for me, and I said, and she's like, well, "Who are you? Where's your media credential?" And I told her I work for the Jewish News. Made that up. And
but were you wearing khaki pants?
No,
because what we've learned is that khaki pants are the critical. That's the critical piece of clothing to be taken seriously as a journalist.
And I wasn't wearing a yarmulke, so she wasn't buying it. But they were stationed out there. The Detroit Lions changed their whole entire press conference protocol because they were afraid I was going to break into that Jim Caldwell press. So the teams are all aware of me. They all are on the lookout that I don't show up. And all I'm not stuttering John from the Howard Stern show looking to ask some goofy question. I want to ask a tough, legitimate question, and they don't want any part of it.
You should wear a fake mustache. What do you think about that?
I think my Jew fro gives me away. So.
That's beef for chicken. Beef for chicken. Just leave it alone.
No, they're trust me. They've got many ways to find me out, and at this point now I can't get into anything. So
hey, we got to wrap things up. We're getting towards the top of the hour. Jeff, we appreciate you hanging out. Find out everything that he's writing at DetroitSportsReg.com or Jeff Moss DSR at Twitter's. Amanda Luan, hit her up at Michipreneur.com.
It's LEWAN. There's no D.
Correct. And then Jen will get you at SavvyKidsConsignment.com. Savvy, 2 V's, KidsConsignment.com. Appreciate you guys all hanging out. This is concludes episode 109. Drink up your drinks. Get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home, but you got
can't stay here.
Sorry. See you guys next week for episode 110. Drive careful. Beat it.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women.
Long live Flash. You've saved your Earth. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy.
Make the run. The run.
Game over, man. Game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth. Rube.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
Joe on the cheese.
Fear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take that position.
That analogy sucks because it's right. Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up. Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just doing stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Yeah. Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city.
I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.
This is a previously recorded episode of the IT and the D Show. This show is broadcasting live from Detroit Sound Studios above Activate Gaming and is part of the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.